Good morning. Welcome back to Morning at NTV. Just in case you're joining us, the hashtag is Morning at NTV across all the social media platforms. My name is Mala Kivila Odera. Now we're getting into a Kickstarter conversation this morning, and we'll be talking about personal security. Of course, there has been a spate of attacks in the city of late, and so questions have been rising amidst what's happening, what's with this particular trend. But before I tell you who I have in studios, I'd like you to take a watch at this particular video recording of what exactly did happen a few days ago to a couple of us here at NTV. Let's take a listen. All right, we'll be getting into that particular video in a short while, but in studio, I'm joined by Afande Luke Oesijire. He is the police spokesperson of the Kampala Metropolitan. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Before we get into that particular video, because I'd like you to watch it before you actually comment on it, of course, we did see there's been this particular wave that is seemingly coming back into Kampala. Last year, the big worry was, kidnaps in the city. Of course, the police did, look into that. It was corrected, and somewhat the wave fizzled out. But with the American tourists being kidnapped, and just the other day we actually saw in the papers a young child who was kidnapped, and these kidnappers were asking for a 4 million ransom for the live body, and if they delay they will be able, actually they were demanding for a 10 million ransom for them to just get the body. What's happening?
I would say in relation maybe to the, are you asking in relation to the kidnaps or everything in general?
Let's first talk of the kidnaps before we get into the other thing, because we'll be having a video first.
I would say that yes, that could have happened, and maybe it is still happening. But as security agencies, because the kidnap task force that is actually there does not only consist of police only. We work with other agencies in case we need to move step ahead of these kidnappers who are suspected to be having some of our own. And in relation to that, I would tell you that we've had some strides, some good strides, and we've apprehended some of the suspects, but some isolated cases, like I might say, like what has been happening in actually the different regions in Uganda, because you've generalized everything, even outside of KMP. But I would want to tell you that there is something that is being done to see that whoever does an act like that is looked for and persecuted in courts of law, not only stopping at saving these innocent souls that have been kidnapped, but also making sure these people are apprehended, and all the people they've connived with to do this kidnap are apprehended and taken to courts of law. That is our main objective right now. Okay,
all right. And at this point in time, I'd like us to take a watch of this particular video of an attack that actually did happen. Some of us here at NTV were actually attacked. Let's take a look.
This place along Bombo Road, just below YMCA, is one of those places that become a hub of crime whenever the sun sets. Crime persistently occurs here, despite the fact that there is a police station just a few meters away, then streetlights and cameras that were recently installed. Sources say these criminals usually find their way into areas around Chiseka Market. Criminals usually emerge from the adjacent valley in the night, carry out theft missions and attacks on civilians, and then quickly run back to the valley, as Clinton Tumanyi narrates his ordeal.
At around 9:30 p.m., I was walking home with my Ajuna David and Olivia Komgisha. We were using the Bombo Road, and the place near Teacher's House, as you're going to Wandega. It's about 30 meters away from Wandega town. When we got attacked by thugs, they were about 7. 3 of them came from behind, and they had been following us for a while, but the fact that we are having a conversation and we're having a good time walking together, going home, we didn't really mind them. I couldn't run because on my right was the road, the Bombo Road going to Wandegea, and on my left was Olivia, who was in between me and David, and then on the other side it was a dark corner, which is almost like a bush. And when David ran in the front, Olivia, who was on my left, ran back behind. So when I turned to look at Olivia, the girl, that's when I was punched. I didn't see the punch coming. It hit my face. And they were there were like 3 punches. I don't know. I just found myself on the ground. So the thugs, called them chifes, they could not follow the girl because she stood next to a policeman. So that means that 7 thugs all came down on me. They pounced on me. They beat me up. Now when I fell, I was afraid that my body would fall on the road where I could be knocked by a car. So when I fell near the road, I stood up and these guys were all around me. So they put their hands in my pocket. About 2 hands were in my pocket. They picked the phone and then they ran. I just stood there. I smiled because there's nothing I could do. I couldn't fight back. They had small knives, so I thought if I could try to fight back, they would stab me or something bad would happen. So as I stood up, there's a gentleman who came. There were 2 gentlemen. The first one that came was on a motorcycle, and he parked next to. He parked his motorcycle next to me, and he told me that I dropped my national ID. He picked it and gave it to me. And the guy the next person that parked was in a car. He stopped. I think he had a gun behind him. He had a pistol behind. But unfortunately, the thugs had run, so there's no way he could help my situation. He only went back to his car and moved on. But really, it was a terrible situation. It was. Right now, as I go past that place, I'm still traumatized a bit. Not that much, because it happened, but I'm glad that nothing really happened to the girl. I have scars on my face. When they boxed me, this part of my hair, I had a huge swelling. I had to apply ice so that it really goes down a bit. And then my cheek, they boxed me so hard that I bit my tongue and also a part of my lower lip. So it's swollen and it's a bit painful. But luckily, I believe that the wounds can heal. So I think the police of Uganda should do something about this situation, because we can't keep having such criminals walk around scotch-free.
It has become so absurd, because even the people you look at and feel like they're responsible enough, or even the well-dressed people, can take anything or your property at any time.
Oh, I had gone to do my hair at the salon, and then I think I was contacting the lady that was supposed to do my hair. But then in the process of pulling out my phone right at the doorstep of her salon, there was a border B person that came, and then with his passenger. So then he looked like he was asking for the money, like how much it was to the place he had got to. And then in the process, he got closer. So I thought maybe just like he could also think he's just going to get the money and then give it to the person. It was the first time I faced a robbery. Yeah. And then he just pulled the phone. People tried to chase, but then most of the Ugandans, to help you in some situations, you're supposed to pay them back. Because most of these cases are brought about when people are idle, when people do not have things to do, when people want to live and impress others, so they steal. Yeah, just to be like their other peers. But it starts from you. You have to learn that you have to work hard, be religious, and then, the message goes to the people themselves, not the government.
David Ajuna, morning at NTV.
Mr. Luke,
yes.
Is the police aware of this particular spate of attacks?
Well, it's very important that when such an incident happens, you as the victim, you can always come to the nearest police station, register a case, and something is done about it. There are places whereby we've gotten reports that this has happened once or twice, and that's where we come out and plan. That same road, there is a place called Petro, just after Petro, Bombo Road. We have gotten a lot of reports about that place, and we've done something about it.
What have you done?
We've deployed both overt and covert police officers. We've also used the systems that have been put in place, like the CCTV camera system, so that we can always fast-track such criminals if arrested. Because we find a scenario whereby these activities happen, we know where these people run, but when we are to do an operation, we shall do this operation without whoever we find now, like in his statement there, he says after him being punched, these people ran back to the Moala.
Right.
Now, that operation will be done focused on the Moala. So whoever is found there will be a suspect as per that time. So if we have video footage of the exact person who did that crime, it helps us sieve and get the exact person. And that is what we are doing.
If the police has already deployed, of course, around that region, then why did we have this attack? This attack just happened a few days ago.
Well, I'm not. That is why it is important that if it happens, come and report a case, so that we know that maybe there is something that needs to be done more. Because you will understand that these are people, like one of them has said, that are dressed like us, and they always take advantage of the jam, the too many people that are moving, and probably no one will notice what is happening to you when it's happened to you. So,
Mr. Luke, yes. These particular people who were, attacked are part of us here at NTV.
Yeah. I'm not denying that.
And after this attack actually happened, they did report to the police station. There is a police station close by, but so far nothing has been taken up. So do we say that there could be a possibility that this particular police officers that maybe you deployed or who were stationed in this particular police station operate in cahoots with this particular thugs?
No, I will not say that.
Then why hasn't the case been taken up?
Well, if they reported a case,
they did report.
What is supposed to be done? It's supposed to be, investigators are supposed to take it up, have the perpetrators arrested, and that is not something that you will come out and do in an evening or a day.
How long should it take?
Well, we shall summon them. If we have the perpetrators, we can summon the victims, and we do an identification parade to see whether they can identify some of these people that beat them up.
How long should it take?
That is something that investigators can maybe inform you about. I'm not the person investigating.
There's something very peculiar with regards to this particular region of attack. The police station is just a few meters away. We also have CCTV cameras that were installed in that particular place. So the question would be, then why is it taking so long for these criminals or suspects, so to speak, to be brought to book?
Well, I cannot ably tell you that some of these people have been arrested. Their CCTV cameras have captured some of these crimes happen. We go arrest these suspects. We've had successful stories. The CCTV cameras have captured. The suspects are taken to criminal courts. And when they're taken there, they have rights as human beings. In most cases, we find the same people coming back. Of recent, I'll give you a scenario. There are some people who have been arrested in old Kampala. They beat up a border cyclist. And luckily enough, the CCTV footage was capturing. They beat him up until he died. That is very unfortunate. The CCTV camera captured everything, and we used that to investigate the murder. When we landed on the suspects that were seen in the footage, we realized these are the same people who are having cases to answer in courts of law. They were taken, given bail, and now they're back on the streets doing the same job. So before matters come and turn back to the police, maybe we should also look at how the judicial system is also working, because these are the people we arrest day in, day out. We take them to courts, and because they have the right to bail, they will come out and start from where they stopped from.
Mr. Luke just maybe educate us this morning. Maybe pretty much we never understand the police, and that's why we always come at you. Just make us understand, if for example I'm attacked today, like my colleagues were attacked, and I go and report to the nearby police station, I record a statement, what should I be expecting, and how long should it take for the police to get back to me? Just take us through that particular process by the time these suspects are actually apprehended and brought to book.
You will get to know that these suspects can only be identified by only one person, the person who was attacked.
Okay.
And in most cases, like he said, he saw a punch coming. Some of these victims black out. Yes, we shall do the operation from his statement and from where they ran, but we need them to be identified. when we bring them on identification parade. If it becomes hard for this victim to identify this person, it becomes also hard for us to prosecute someone where there is insufficient evidence, because the state will trash the case. These are cases that are presented before the state, and the state decides whether the evidence is enough for this person to be taken on or not.
But of course, for that to happen, the police have to identify
Yes,
these criminals. So how long should it take? By the time I report my case, I record a statement, and these people being brought for me to identify them, how long is that period of time?
There is no designated period. It can happen right away. You can be punched like in right now. There is someone, there is a gentleman actually on that same road, they grabbed his phone while he was in the vehicle. He ran after these thugs. The CCTV camera captured everything. He ran after these thugs. The thugs beat him up. But he made a phone call, rather someone helped him out, and they made a phone call to the police, and the police came in. There and then, those people were arrested because we could identify them and they were still closed. So also the response matters. There is also that bit that it does not mean that when you're not taken care of right away, it doesn't mean that you're not going to be helped. We need, such operations need planning. If at all there is a slow response to it, it needs to be planned. Remember, these are people that we're going to get from Mwara, a dark place. We need to know how many they are and how armed are they. He says they have knives.
But Mr. Luko Esijiria, before we actually wrap this up, because we have to cross over, we have some young people who have come up with the technology that will help us secure ourselves better in the city in terms of just safeguarding ourselves. But the question would be, we had the CCTV cameras installed to ensure that they help the police as well in these particular processes. If, for example, a victim is knocked out completely or God forbid, dies, then the CCTV camera is actually there to ensure that the police uses that footage to be able to identify
I gave that scenario in areas where I gave that scenario is in areas where there are no CCTV cameras. Okay, so for areas that there are CCTV we've always arrested those culprits. So for our colleague's case right here, let them be hopeful. Let them be hopeful that something is going to be done about it. For how long will we hang on to hope? Maybe a week or two, but they should be hopeful that something is going to be done. All right. Yes. Are you giving us confidence that police is at the top of their game to ensure that such crimes don't happen? We have done a lot. We have done a lot. This was happening in the past quite often, but now we don't register such cases a lot. And if I'm stand here confident, I would tell you on in a week we see a few cases like that. Very few compared to other cases that are out there. Very few. Can you quantify the few cases? Because you did record some of other victims of the same attacks. There were quite a number. We just had to edit because of the purposes of time. Well, I would say maybe if they come out with the exact time frame, those happen. Maybe they have been happening in the past, but I can ably tell you that now those cases are rare. They might be happening, but not as they used to happen way back. Right. Okay. The last question to you: give us confidence that the police does not work hand in hand with these criminals. We don't, but if there is any evidence that any police officer is working with any criminal, it is brought forward to us. We always investigate, and this person is taken on in courts of law. All right. Yes. Thank you so much for coming in studios this morning. You're welcome. All right, we were joined by Mr. Afande Luke Oyesijire, the police spokesperson of the Kampala Metropolitan. Deputy police spokesperson. Yes, deputy police spokesperson, beg your pardon, of the Kampala Metropolitan. At this point in time, I'd like to link over to Rita Kanya, who has amazing innovations for us. Rita. Well, Mala, as we wait on the police, as our hopes are being raised and telling us that the police is doing something about this all, a number of citizens are taking it upon themselves to do something, create apps, given that we are in the technological bit of things. Each and every one of us holds a smartphone, and I am joined by Mr. Kenneth Bintu. Do allow me to call him Mr. Kenneth, who is a second-year student of Cavendish University. He is studying ICT, and he, together with a team of 3 others, were able to develop an app called
Public Taxi UG. Now, I would want to tell you about the details of Public Taxi, but that's why Kenneth is here, and we're going to get straight into it. First of all, welcome to Morning at NTV, Kenneth.
Thank you for welcoming me to NTV. As you introduced me, I'm called Kenneth Bintu, a student from Cavendish University. I and a group of students at Cavendish University, we developed a service that we render to the people operating in transport industry. We are adding a value addition to the transport that we create employment, we create safety, and we help all the operators, including drivers, vehicle owners, to do what they are supposed to do.
So what is this that they're supposed to do? Because when I download an app that is called Public Taxi, I believe, is it supposed to help me get a taxi or hail one? What exactly happens when someone downloads Public Taxi on the Google Play Store?
When you download Public Taxi Uganda app on the Google Play Store, you create an account. The moment you create an account and you log in, you will come with a map with all registered vehicles on the platform. Every vehicle you see on the platform, specifically taxi, is verified, is registered. The driver can't do harm, can't do anything. In case anything you forget in that vehicle, you can just call the driver and then you tell the driver about the item you forgot in that particular vehicle.
So what we mostly know for a number of Ugandans is that sometimes there have been allegations that people are robbed while they're in taxis. Or a number of times, like you have mentioned, you forget something in a taxi. It could even be a handbag. Yes, it could happen.
Forgetting is something normal to everyone. Therefore, it's normal to lose a wallet in taxi, and this wallet is having all your documentation. You don't have any chance right now to have this wallet or to have the documents in. No, you have to forget. But right now, through this innovation of public transport system, which connects us, me passenger, driver, and the vehicle owner, I have a right or a second chance to call the driver. I'm so and so, I've been in that particular vehicle, I forgot my documents. They might be academical, they might be national. Then the driver will cross-check and then they get back to you instantly. Because all these drivers we put on a platform, they have procedures they follow, because at the end of the day, all of us will benefit from this. We give the service to the vehicle owners, free to the passengers, free to the drivers. Then only the vehicle owners subscribe to use our system, 50,000 monthly.
Okay, so that's for the taxi owner.
That is for the taxi
50,000 is what they have to pay.
They pay for using our service, and they locate their vehicles wherever they are.
Okay, so I do know from the app, which I have been able to download thanks to Google Play Store, now you get there and there's an option one if you're logging in as either a driver, if you're logging in as a passenger.
Yes.
And then if I am a passenger, I do see that the route will show me those taxis that are registered under this app.
Yes.
That means I can only take a taxi registered.
Every vehicle we register on our platform, we publicize it to the public. Let me use example, let's say vehicle number UBA 123Z. This vehicle, the moment we have a specialized symbol or sign we put on every vehicle that is visible to everyone. When you look at the app, even the people without smartphones, every vehicle we put on the platform, we put a toll-free number inside for everyone to see. Anyone with, but if you have a smartphone, you can go to the app, it has support, you can just call right away. From the support you choose, whom do you want to call? Do you want to call us? You want to call traffic? You want to call police? Or you want to call another agency? So this will create safety. So far we have rolled out, and we are expanding, only that we are limited to funding to do more sensitization and mobilization. Any driver who is on our platform, we have a benefit. At the end of the day, he receives. He's doing his job, he earns, but we're also having a message we are carrying with him to deliver for us. For carrying that message to us, we are giving him a small benefit for the work he's doing. We are not interfering with anyone's work, only we are creating employment and empowerment to these people.
How many taxis are registered with you right now?
So far right now, the taxis which are registered and verified, and we are sure of these drivers, we have 35.
35.
Yeah, due to lack of sensitization, media, marketing, that's why we have a limited number, because we are using word of mouth. Like how our grannies did. One bush burning, another village shouldn't burn.
Yes.
So this is what we are doing. Whoever we share with, we encourage sharing on the social media, on the people around. That's what we are doing. But as time goes on, we are going to roll out, because anytime funding is coming.
Okay, so we're going to demonstrate this, having a look at what the app looks like for those that might not be able to. You're just hearing of the app and you want to know exactly, how do I get this app? What will it help me with? Well, let's take just a look. And you're going to guide me, Kenneth, on what I should be able to do.
No problem.
Okay,
I'm going to show you.
Let's
Anyone
start
out
this.
there, you're watching this show right now, if you have any Android smartphone, just get your phone, go to Play Store. When you go to the Play Store, type Public Tax Uganda, then search. Even if you type Public Tax, you see Public Tax Uganda, then search. For us, we have downloaded, and it's just a matter of opening. So when you open, this is how it will appear. The app is in a relationship of 3 people: me, passenger, driver, and then the vehicle owner, and then the vehicle owner. So if you are a passenger, you require to create account. As you can see, the form is simple and easy. So when you create account, then you log in. So for our case, we have already account and details. We are going to log in. So this takes us to a map. So when you log in on your smartphone, you are going to see all the registered vehicles and their number plates. So that vehicle is there, this vehicle is here. So the black thing, these ones you see, these are the routes. Every vehicle that operates in transport has a route, whether it is from Selena to Kabalagala, that is a route, going and coming back. Whether it's from Mbalala, Kampala, Masaka, Kampala, Jinja, like that. So the route have end. Every vehicle we put on the platform, the driver tells us, me, I'm driving on this route, that's the route we register. So we have a menu from here. So from the menu, you can see the routes. So when you click on the routes, all the routes that every vehicle is involved in, every vehicle is involved in, is there. This helps you as a passenger who have a smartphone to know and locate these vehicles where they are. Most of the times you find people, someone from Masaka doesn't know Kampala, but you know where the park is. He begin asking person to person. Even some of the cases you find, you ask wrong people, and at the end of the day, the results might not be good. But every vehicle we put on the platform, if you don't have a smartphone, we have a symbol we put, visible for everyone without a smartphone who can see. And inside the vehicle still, we put our stickers, and we show to everyone that if you need this, you find it here. From the same app, we have support. Now, at the moment, from the support, what we have, this is the support. If you make any phone call right now. So with this support, we are going to integrate it specifically. We are looking at stakeholders in the market, state government agencies, and other safety, security councils which are involved in transport. So right now, if you make a call, the call will go to our call center as Public Taxi app. So the moment we integrate other agencies, other stakeholders, a client or a passenger will have more. Whom should I contact? Whom should I respond to? Where do I need to report my concern? So then this is how the app works. So every passenger who logs in, you are able to see all the vehicles which are registered and which are verified. If you have any issue, you go to the support, you select, do I need to call Public Tax Center, call center, or I need to call traffic according to the route where you are and the challenge you are facing in the time. If you don't have a smartphone, in all these vehicles we put on the platform, every vehicle inside it has our toll-free number, and all the details and guidelines are inside there. Even if you don't have a smartphone, go to the neighbor.
Okay. So share with someone, use your smartphone, but one thing that you're mentioning is that you don't actually have to have a smartphone to be able to use safe public means.
Yes.
Okay, well, Mala, that is what it is. A number of people are finding ways to actually be able to help with the safety within the city by simply, if perhaps you leave something in a taxi, if at all something is taken from you in this particular taxi, then you definitely need to have this app.
So this is not only for taxis.
Yeah. And this, he says, is not
this
only
is
for?
not only for the taxis. This is our main model. So we brought this sample to the taxis so far. We done the pilot and it's succeeding. Because to use the platform, you only pay a small amount of money as the vehicle owner for maintaining the system. Now we have buses, we have trucks, we have many other. We have companies, we have NGOs, and all these are involved in transport. So anything regarding safety and measures in transport, just only your smartphone can do the better job for you. Thank you.
Interesting conversation, Rita, right there. Thank you so much, Kenneth Bintu. Interesting, but I made sure that I keep Mr. Luke Oyesidere right here with me for him to give us his views with regards to the same innovation. Do you think this is a solution finally to fighting crime, something that the police can take up?
Yeah, I feel personally, on my view, but of course, police is a big institution. I feel that it's something that we can take up, where taxis can be monitored. We have put up CCTV cameras on the routes, but we don't know what's going on inside the cameras.
Right.
If there is any advantage of knowing what is going on inside the taxis, that is something that we can always take up, and we applaud such innovations.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting. So, Mr. Bintu, make sure that you get a hold of him after this, okay? So you can have intensive conversations on how you can work together. Thank you so much for coming in studios, Mr. Kenneth Bintu from ICT. He's actually a student of ICT at Cavendish University, and also Afande Luke Oyesidere. He is the Kampala Metropolitan Deputy Police Spokesperson. Thank you so much, gentlemen. So that's it for our Kickstarter conversation. What are your views? The hashtag is morning at NTV across all the social media platforms. Don't move a muscle. We'll be right back.